Welcome back, my friends, to another edition of TFT Hyperroll from Mission for Tuition, the channel that helps pay for our son's high school. Since he has to go to a special school, please like, comment, subscribe, do anything to help the YouTube algorithm so the video can get more views. This video is probably going to be one of my favorites of the season just because it's my favorite build right now, and we'll kind of get right into it and I'll jump you ahead. Whenever I see Dragonmancer champs, I pick them up in the hopes that I can coax Gary into giving me a Dragonmancer-centric augment. So did it work? Yes! A Dragonmancer crest, and it comes with an ashe. Now the Dragonmancer I ultimately want is going to be Volibear, but I can use Aatrox as an item holder for Volibear, and there are going to be 3 key items that I ultimately want to get on Volibear, and the most essential of those is the Rage Blade, generally then Bloodthirster, because that will help with healing. The final is Quicksilver so he doesn't get stunned, but we're going to start off Aatrox with the bow, the Bloodthirster, and give him the Dragon's Blessing because he is the 2-star. Now this is especially evil early because the Bloodthirster now has Omnivamp, so they heal on abilities as well as auto attacks, and Aatrox heals on his ability, so it's going to be hard to bring him down. For the item shop, remember I am looking for 3 specific items, so there is no hesitation in picking up the needlessly large rod and making the Rage Blade. We now have 2 of our key items for Volibear. And I kind of feel bad for anyone running into this early because those 2 items on Aatrox along with his Dragon Blessing is going to make him nearly impossible to take down, as you can see him taking very little damage and healing it back up, ending in victory. So while we're speeding through a couple of unfair fights, let's talk about exactly how Dragonmancer works. Once you get 3, you get the Dragonmancer Blessing, which is that little item in the corner. You take that and you put it over the hero you want to enhance. Then depending on the number of Dragonmancers you have and the star level of that hero is how much additional power they get. At 3, they get 450 health and 20% ability power, 6, 1350 health, 60% ability power, and if you go to 9 Dragonmancers, which is very rare, you get 2250 plus 100% ability power. It's really strong. For the second augment, we get the Prismatic level. And I was tempted to grab Verdant Veil because then I wouldn't need Quicksilver on Volley, but I decided instead to go with the High Roller. That way I'd have a better chance of getting my Volibear to gold. The focus of this build is going to be Volibear, which is also why I picked up Anivia. Anivia is going to give me Jade along with the other 2 Dragonmancers, because Karma and Ashe on the bottom are Dragonmancers, and then Anivia is a legend as well as Jade, and that's going to be very important, and you'll see why later. So we're hitting the point in the game where the enhanced Aatrox on its own is not going to make enough of a difference. We're not up to 6 Dragonmancers yet, so it's not getting the additional bonus. He's only a 1-star champion, so he's not really that strong. So teams like this, a good Astral team that has strong champions, will be able to break through. So it's time for a little bit of craziness. We're into stage 6, I have a 30% chance for 3, so I've been rolling as much as I can to try to get Volibear. Finally get him, and it's time to make the swap. Say goodbye to Aatrox, he has served us well, get Volibear in, and then use some of our loaded dies to try and get Volibear up. However, we're only able to get 1, even after using 2, but we do end up with the 2-star Anivia. So it's time to switch since we only have a few seconds left, get items onto Volibear, give him the Dragonmancer bonus before combat starts so it counts, and get the 3 key items on him. And I was really hoping to have him up to 2 stars, but even at 1-star bronze, you can see how strong he is against a really well-stacked trainer mage team. It doesn't lead to the victory, but we do a ton of damage, so you know what's coming. I use my last loaded die, and Gary says, yeah, no 2-star volley for you, not that easily. You're going to have to find him the old-fashioned way. Heading into the next fight, I know Gary's probably laughing because I need the 2-star volley to really win these fights. He can do a lot of damage and hold in there for a while, but ultimately he's going to need to be at least 2 stars for me to win, and I was hoping to use those loaded die to get him up to 3. For the final augment, I debated with rolling just to see what I got, but Thrill of the Hunt is just too good to pass up because when something goes down, you will regain 700 health, which is going to be key if we can ever find, hello, our 2-star volley. And you will quickly see, oh, what a difference a level makes. Even as everything gathers around Volley, when he ults, he has enough health to hold in there. It allows the Rage Blade to kick in, which allows the Bloodthirster to heal him up more, allows him to do more damage, and yeah, he just ends up owning the entire team. So this leads us to our treasure dragon, and you can see how this all comes together. When I saw Warmogs, I knew I wanted to go for it because that's going to be a perfect Ornn item, and he is going to fit into this build, and I'll finally get to show you exactly how all of this works. Ornn is the 3rd legend champ. There's 3 of them. It's Volibear, Ornn, and Anivia. And the way they work is they are going to absorb the champions that have the lines going to them. So as you can see, Lee Sin has a line going to Ornn. So Ornn is going to absorb Lee Sin, get his health, his armor, and his magic resist. Volibear is going to absorb Set, and once I move Swain up, Anivia is going to absorb Swain. And I'm making Ornn as strong as possible and giving him a redemption so he can be additional healing for Volibear. Yes, you end up with less champions on the screen, but those champions are significantly stronger, as you will see in the upcoming fights. Now, I don't know why I find this all so delightful, but there are now 3 huge champions on the board, with Volibear at the center of it, and he just wrecks things. Every 4th attack of his is doing additional magic damage to other champions, and again, the Bloodthirster is now Omnivamp, so he's healing from all of it. Since I'm just 1 away from a Golden Anivia, I'm going to go ahead and grab the Jeweled Gauntlet. I also got the Ionic Spark off of the NPC, and that's going to go on Ornn as an additional tank item. I also like to bring Jade into this build when I can, and if I can use Nico next to Volibear, that's great, because she will pick up a little bit of Volibear, because she's going to clone herself into Volibear, and so we'll have 2 Volibears until she ultimately does her ult. I get myself the Gold Anivia. I also do not clump everyone around the Jade Tower as a lot of people do, and that's because there are teams like this that will do a lot of AoE damage, and I don't want to have everyone just in one particular spot. I like having Ashe off, and I like having Anivia a little further back. That way, if someone dies, I have additional things to keep doing damage. In this case, everyone goes down except for Volibear and Anivia, but do you really need more than that? Look how strong Volibear is and how long he holds up against a team that feels like it should have been able to take him down. One of the other keys here is that Anivia's circle that she creates is also reducing their magic resist, and since Volibear is doing magic damage on every 3rd strike that is chaining to additional people, that's doing extra damage. Notice I also have some bards on the bench who will hopefully go in the next round just to finish off the team as we make it into the top 4. For my final item, I love to have Morellonomicon on Anivia because that will put a burn on the champions who are also in that circle. I have a magnetic remover, so I can make that happen, which means I can turn Bard into the 6th Dragonmancer. It doesn't have to be Anivia. I can give the Morellonomicon to Anivia, give her back the Arcane Gauntlet, and then a redemption just so she can stay up longer. Also, I can give Ashe the Static Shiv, which will also reduce everyone's magic resist, so it works beautifully along with Anivia's ult, the Morellonomicon, and Volibear doing additional magic damage. Even though we have less champions on the board, 3 of them are being taken off by Legend, the champions that are left are so strong and so powerful and just doing so much damage that they seem almost impossible to beat. Here we're facing an absolute kitchen sink trainer build where they have Revel, Cannoneer, Mage, all of it including a dragon, but watch what happens when Bard ults. Going to stop their entire team, which is going to cause them to take additional damage as Volibear comes in. Ornn ultimately finishes off with the ult, and they're out, and this game is down to a 1v1. There's just going to be one problem. That is an Astral team with a well-stocked Aurelion Soul that just beat my Ghost. So I'm showing you this setup to show you a mistake that I made when I was doing this. I wanted to switch everything over so Volibear was on the left and closer to the Aurelion Soul. So I start shifting everyone over. I bring Nico next to him and Set next to him. What I didn't pay attention to is the fact that the line now going from Nico to Volibear is showing that he's going to absorb her. She's going to copy him and then he's going to absorb her instead of Set. I want it to be the other way around. So Volibear absorbs Nico. Set goes down really quickly. Luckily, and this is why I keep the Jade separated even when I have the statue, everyone isn't clumped into one spot. So Aurelion Soul is doing massive AoE damage, but is not able to focus on any one group of champions. There he takes out Ashe, but Volibear is able to get in and finish him off. Now this error should have been a lot more deadly than it was, but this is part of why I keep my champions separate, especially when going up against a team that has an Aurelion Soul. Aurelion Soul is unable to singularly take out the entire team. If you've played against them, then you know that can happen. Here, they can focus on one, but the other one will get them. And just for the moment, let's show it. There it is, the 3-star gold Volibear. And I finally noticed my mistake, moved Nico over, so Volibear is now going to be absorbing Set. Nico will copy the 3-star Volibear. Ornn will take Lee Sin. Everything is good to go for what I'm hoping is the final fight. They nerfed this build multiple times during the PvE, but I think unless they fundamentally decide to break Legend or change the way Dragonmancer works, it will continue to work. Every single time I've used it, I have not failed to get into the top 4. It isn't always a win, but with a gold Volibear, yeah, it's gonna be a win. Hope you enjoyed this video and have an absolutely awesome day.